Roll number 21. Our guest is here. Please welcome him and read his biodata.
Sure, madam. Sure, madam.
Yeah. Roll number 21.
I think, ma'am, some network issue is there on sir's end.
Who is for the biodata reading, madam, today?
Roll number 21. He is ready to.
Yeah, madam.
Yes.
Yeah,
He is
madam.
now in network.
Yeah, sure, madam.
Yes.
Am I audible now, madam?
Yes, you are audible.
Am I audible? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning to one and all the participants. I would like to extend my warm welcome to all the participants. First of all, I would like to express my thanks to Director Sir, Professor S.S. Patil Sir, and coordinators Dr. Rafi Sir, Dr. Gaurav Jadhav Sir. I am Dr. Chand Basha, Professor, St. Anne's College of Engineering and Technology, Chirala, Andhra Pradesh. It's my privilege and honor to introduce our guest of speaker, personality, Dr. Prahant Vitthal Sathe Sir. Sir, welcome, sir. I would like to introduce Sir. Dr. Prahant Sathe Sir, currently holding the post of Professor at Prahant, Maharashtra College of Commerce, Pune. Sir is acting as the coordinator of Research Center and post-graduation commerce courses run by the college. Sir has vast experience of 30 years in teaching of commerce and management subjects. Sir's education qualifications includes
Unmute yourself. Roll number 21, unmute yourself.
Sir's qualifications, educational qualifications include Masters in Commerce, Master of Philosophy, MPhil, DTL, PhD, as well as set state level eligibility test. Sir has taught a wide range of subjects, 20 subjects in commerce and management at UG and PG level courses under the guidance of Dr. Prahant Vitthal Sathe Sir. 6 PhDs as well as 9 MPhils were awarded under the guidance of Sir. He has presented 2 research papers at international level seminars, 3 research papers at a national level seminars, and 4 state level seminars. Sir has 3 research articles published in research journals bearing ISSN numbers, different ISSN numbers. Dr. Prahant Vitthal Sathe Sir has presented, has been co-author of 7 books in the subjects of marketing management, office management, business administration, as well as principles of economics. Dr. Prahant Vitthal Sathe Sir has discharged different roles. He has been discharged different responsibilities and contributed towards university level activities, college level activities, as well as social level activities. I would like to reveal the Sir's role and responsibilities that were discharged by the Sir at the university level. Sir has been the subject expert for selection of teachers. Sir is the member of squad committee for university examinations. Sir chairman and moderator of paper setting committee at UG as well as PG level university examinations. Sir worked as a district coordinator for practical examinations. Sir, the member of local inquiry committee appointed by the university. Sir, invited as a resource person for various refreshment courses in commerce organized by university. He has delivered guest lectures at set workshops of University of Pune. Sir is the panel member of PhD interview selection committee. Sir is also special invitee for syllabus setting of the subject of marketing management. Sir is a observer and evaluator of Avishkar research project competition at state level. I would like to Sir's responsibilities that are discharged by him at the college level. Sir is the member of local management committee. Sir is the coordinator of seminar and workshop being organized by the college. Sir worked as a member of sports committee, NSS committee, timetable committee, library committee. He is also a member of IQAC. Sir is also a member of anti-ragging committee of the college. So apart from this, Sir is also discharged certain duties and responsibilities.
Sir, you can conclude. Sir, you can conclude. Huh?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. With this background of the sir, I invite our resource person, Sir Dr. Prahant Vitthal sir, to take over to walk over this program. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving the opportunity.
Namaste to all.
Sir, namaste.
Professor, I am audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So without a break, you can continue, sir. Without a break.
I will.
Okay. I will take your lead, sir.
Please, sir. Thank you. So the first, again, I welcome you all in this first session of today's, that is on 1st of February. So first common sentence I used to repeat, which is very common as a part of protocol, as a part of whatever you may call. For example, thanks for organizers for inviting me and thanks for my good introduction. So this is a common sentence we used to make it in the beginning. It is obvious, nothing wrong in it. So in a positive sense, I used to repeat the same, that thanks for organizers for giving me an opportunity or inviting me over here to interact with the audience online. And again, thanks for the introduction. Apart from this invitation or introduction, what I feel in person, that is after Corona in particular, all over the world in particular, as well as our country, our states, different states, our university, our colleges, and in our classroom, for example, the impact of online teaching learning process, impact of digital learning process has drastically increased. Reasons are so many, but main reason or main cause is of Corona itself. Nowadays, as all of you aware, might be in your different states, in your different universities. Unfortunately, I used to say rather, because it is my own perception, that is why I used to say unfortunately, that unfortunately now a final viva voce of PhD or MPhil, now MPhil is not there, but whosoever. So the final viva voce of PhD is also being conducted through online mode. So for me, it is not that way very acceptable, but it is apart. So in a sense, in a way, that we are now seasoned, we are now practiced, we are now habitual, or we are now hypnotized rather with this e-resource. And government is also encouraging digital literacy, and government is also encouraging this digital platform at a large scale. And that is why we are using it. Even if we like it or not, we are using it as a part of requirement. But as this is an orientation program, what I asked to organizer that what is the logic and idea and object and purpose behind this program. So what they told me, so I will repeat, I don't know whether it is that all the teachers, all the participants, those who are here right now, there are 55, 54, whosoever, including me 56, but maybe 54, 55 participants are there. So they are newcomers, maybe. I don't know, but newcomers in the sense they just started their career in the teaching profession. Because as far as my example is concerned, that I started as a teacher or as a lecturer in 1991, and I did my orientation program immediately after 2 years. So in 93, 94, I completed my orientation program. So long 30 years before. Point is, orientation is a very, what is called as a versatile course or sort of course. Different sort of topics are being discussed or are being delivered in this orientation program. And there is no any, what is called as a watertight compartment, or there is no any limit as such that, for example, as I belongs to commerce, so not necessary that the commerce related subject need to be discussed in the orientation program or delivered in the orientation program. Apart from your basic domain knowledge or basic domain faculty, you may have a different types of knowledge, or you may have a different types of session. This is the speciality of orientation program. As far as what is called as a refresher program is concerned, refresher course is concerned. So as far as refresher course is concerned, no doubt that specific domain, for example, commerce, for example, accountancy, for example, marketing, whatever. So for refresher program, only specific domain knowledge related topic is being discussed, and it is obvious, nothing wrong. Point is, now this platform is orientation teacher platform or oriented. All participants are participated over here through for the purpose of orientation. So there is no any limit. So that is why I asked the organizer that which topic I supposed to deliver in this session. So they gave me an opportunity, or they gave me freedom rather, that you may discuss any topic which you want. Of course, within the framework of education, within the framework of profile of the teacher, those who are in the profession of teaching, particularly higher education. So we will discuss. So the topic that is selected by me for today's session, all of you not might be aware, 100% aware. Maybe density 1, 2, 3, 4, likewise, but all of you aware, and that is national education policy, which is so common from 29th of July 2020. Every citizen, those who are in the every citizen, please do not take it as a word to word meaning, but we people, as we are in the education, so all of us, we are so much so concerned with, related with, associated with, belongs to, etc., with national education policy in one way or the other. So the topic which is going to be discussed in this session, maybe which is not new to you rather, because in orientation, what is expected, you have to have some new knowledge, or you have to have some new normal. For example, during Corona, we heard this term new normal situation. So this online platform is a new normal, and not now it is not new normal, it is routine as far as, and for the sake of compliance, for the sake of formality, for the sake of certificate, for the sake of API, for the sake of marks, for the sake of number of, we used to make it. Because as I am teaching costing, so it is less costlier. Cost wise also it is effective. So cost effectiveness is there. Impact is tremendous, positive, negative, but positive is also there. So that is why people used to prefer this online platform. So I'm not here to that is called as a against or negative sort of as far as using of online, but it has a limitation, no doubt. My topic for today's session is not online plus or minus, online pros or cons. My topic is what I said is a national education policy announced by Kasturi Rangan, Honorable Kasturi Rangan, as the chairman of that committee. And the Ministry of Central Government has accepted the policy on 29th of July, 29th of July 2020, as all of you are aware. We will discuss a few points out of even though many of you or all of you are aware of it, but now there is no any choice or there is no any option, irrespective of state, whichever state you belongs to be specific, even if you belongs to Karnataka state or Pashchim Bengal or Tamil Nadu or Kerala, for example, you have to adopt the policy in one way or other, either as it is developed and designed by, or as per the requirement of the respective state. But every state need to adopt national education policy because it is the requirement of today's era. My point is what the points discussed and how we will implement it in practice at our own level. Please underline the term OWN, own level. Why I'm referring and emphasizing on own level? Because for example, we are so much so dependent initially college, college principal, college management, university, vice chancellor, different authorities, then state government, then government office, joint director. If you are a grantable, there are a number of types of teachers. So I don't want to discuss that types. But for example, government. Hello. Anyone has a problem?
No, sir, there is no problem.
I heard some voice from. Okay, no issue. So, and my advice, suggestion, request to all, if you want to ask any question or if you have some query, at the end you need to ask. Please do not disturb me. Otherwise, I will conclude the session at that point itself. Even though it is online session, I will not entertain such type of disturbance. It is very specific from my side. 100% I will answer your queries at the end, no doubt. But please do not ask me any question in between. It will disturb my flow and I will conclude the session and I will out immediate. Okay, coming to the point. So, as far as this part is concerned, that is online, because what I said earlier that what is the biggest drawback of this online? This is the biggest drawback because physically you are here. I have a doubt about mental existence, because right now also as a teacher of commerce, what I feel, because I committed to organizer that time, that day. Yes, I will conduct the session or I will be there on Saturday at 11 o'clock. But later I realized that today that Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is going to present her budget in the Parliament, and it is at exactly at 11 o'clock. So I am now in dilemma. I was in dilemma whether to conduct the session or whether to listen the budget. But as commitment and as I already give a means, otherwise there will be a disturbance to the organizers how to, and it is not ethically correct also, and that is why I am here. But actually as a teacher of, irrespective of any faculty, commerce, for commerce teacher it is so obvious and it is so required, but irrespective of faculty or discipline, I used to, because today only in my college, as I am in BMCC, so we have in our every classroom, 3 classrooms rather, main, we plan to already that process is there, is going on, that all students are sitting over there and they are listening the live budget. Those are delivering from Parliament, because it is so obvious. So my suggestion, advice, request to you all participants, right now you are physically here. Some of you might be have your own other mode or other mobile. Some of you already might have listening the budget, because it is so possible on through any other mode, but it is not okay, it is your decision or it is your part of. Point is, the budget which is being declared or announced or presented, maybe tomorrow, day after tomorrow, whosoever, I don't know, I'm not there tomorrow, day after tomorrow, but you as a participants, you as a teacher, those who are in this teaching profession, need to understand the concept of budget or different aspects of budget, because it is so important. Please do not confine that budget is the only part of commerce teachers or finance teachers or accounts teacher. We, for example, humanities and science and engineering and medical, those who belongs to, please do not under that impression, because it has a close association with every profession, every discipline, every knowledge, irrespective. So today the budget session, Actually, the point it comes in my mind yesterday that, for example, the budget presented by Nirmala Sitharaman from 11, maybe it may conclude after 2 hours. So it may be one of the session. So live listening of live budget may be one of the session to the participants, because it is so important. Because after that discussion and debate, pro government, against government, so we get confused. Those who are in opposition party, their one line comment is very specific, that it is against the poor people, it is against so and so and so. And those who are in ruling party, they said that this is the best budget whatever I observed in my life. So this is a common sentence we used to listen from opposition party and from the ruling party. So please do not have that type of sense. What is our perception? What is our interpretation about that budget? And you make it immediately after the presentation of the budget made by the finance minister. So as a orientation of this, as this is a very good idea, that orientation. So budget analysis, budget interpretation by our own, without any prejudice. For example, XYZ who is pro government, XYZ he is against government. So against or pro, it has no any meaning, or it has no any value. What is important, what you feel in person as far as that budget analysis is concerned. Okay, but leave it. This is a different topic, and this is a different issue which you may discuss later on. Coming to the national education policy, which is the topic which I want to discuss in this session, and that is the 18 different principles issued in the sense designed, developed, drafted, accepted in national education policy. If you analyzed, or if you understood, or if you interpret, or if you implement all these principles at your own level, the point which was discussing by me, at our own level means without taking help of our principal, our college, our management, government, state government, central government, by my own. What is meant by my own? For example, I am teaching commerce. In particular, I am teaching costing. Now, as a teacher of commerce, as a teacher of costing, what is the underlying principle mentioned in national education policy? For example, Indian knowledge system. You have to follow, you have to adopt, you have to implement, you have to plan in your curriculum Indian knowledge system. Now, there is no need to have some, because, for example, Indian knowledge system, multidisciplinary, holistic education, flexibility, number of, we will discuss one by one later. But at my own level, for example, the costing or commerce during 15th century, during 16th century, during 17th century, during 18th century, during 19th century, during 20th century, and during current 21st century. If you discuss this topic in context with Indian knowledge, in context to Indian periphery, not to have a westernized or American what has happened, what was happened in 15th century in America, in Europe, in Germany, what happened to commerce during 16th century, at least four century, 17, 18, 19, 20. If you started from 11, 12, no issue. At least 4th century, live apart 4th century, 4 decade at least. But what happened? Majority of the sources which are available, unfortunately, in the library is of Western philosopher. What is required is our Indian thought process, Indian philosophical based knowledge. And it is possible, for example, in Pune, as I am in Pune, Bhandarkar Research Institute, Bori, you might have heard this term. Number of, there is a Deccan College, which where I am staying, where I am in Pune, there is a Deccan College, there is a Bhandarkar Institute. So these, for example, these two institutes, there are number of national level institutes in Pune, and in your own state also, in your own city also, there are number of national level institutes are there. We need to visit over there, we need to refer the documents over there, and I am sure that 100% our topic related reference material is available over there. But what happened because of this as repetitively we used to criticize that Mekalo system of education, Mekalo system of education. So we are so much so taught, that is seasoned with, practiced with the syllabus designed before independence. After independence also, we have not made any drastic changes in the syllabus as far as Indian knowledge system is concerned. So my point is, Indian knowledge system doesn't mean only to teach Vedas and Puranas and Shrutis and Smrutis. Actually, it is not mentioned anywhere in national education policy that we have to taught Vedas, we have to taught Puranas, we have to taught Smrutis, and no, nothing is mentioned. What is mentioned under that principle of national in a national education policy, a rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient, and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. I repeat the sentence again, which is specifically being mentioned in the national education policy. A rootedness and pride in India, that as a student, of this, that is beneficiary of this national education policy, it means our student, he must feel that proud of India, that I born in India, and we have a so much so excellent knowledge tradition, and I am a part of it. संस्कृत में ऐसा बोलते हैं और हिंदी में ऐसा बोलते हैं कि भारत में जन्म मिलना, मनुष्य जन्म मिलना ही भाग्यवान है, ऐसा कहते हैं कि भारत मनुष्य जन्म मिलना ही भाग्यवान है। और दूसरा वाक्य ऐसा है उस सुभाषित का कि भारत में जन्म मिलना तो उससे भी भाग्यवान है। तो हर एक स्टूडेंट को ये फीलिंग होना चाहिए। आपने when you delivered your lecture, when you complete your session, it is not possible within one session. If you continuously repeat the same, then it will happen. Otherwise, it is not a show business only to have a pride of India in one lecture, and next time you have unethical practices, illegal practices, then no one will have a pride of India. Point is, भारत में जन्म मिलना ये अति भाग्यवान है, और मनुष्य जन्म मिलना तो भाग्यवान ही है। तो विद्यार्थी, द स्टूडेंट हु इज देयर, हु इज अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर एजुकेशन सिस्टम, उसे ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि मैं भारत में मेरा जन्म हुआ, ये बहुत ही अच्छा हुआ, क्योंकि मेरे भारत की ज्ञान परंपरा जो है ये बहुत ही सराहनीय है, ये बहुत ही अच्छी है, ये बहुत उनका ट्रेडिशन है, वो बहुत ही, वो हमें पढ़ाना है। What is mentioned, that rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient and modern culture. So they are not only restricted to ancient part of, they are not only restricted to history part of, modern culture and knowledge system and traditions. So this is only one line sentence. उसमें इतना बवाल हो रहा है कि हमें वेद पढ़ाना है क्या, हमें ये पढ़ाना है, कुछ नहीं पढ़ाना है। अगर आपको लगता है कि 4 वेद में से 18 पुराणों में से ये अच्छा है, ये आज के जमाने में रेलेवेंट है, रैशनल है, लॉजिकल है, देन यू हैव टू टॉट। किसने कहा है कि वेद पढ़ाओ, किसने कहा है कि पुराण पढ़ाओ? आपको जो यू हैव टू कोरिलेट, फॉर एग्जांपल कॉमर्स, एज आई एम अ टीचर ऑफ कॉमर्स, आई विल रिपीट माय सेंटेंस। For example, commerce, economics, accounts, finance, etc. These are correlated and integrated part of. For example, maximum production, I repeat, maximum production, restricted consumption, and equitable distribution. I repeat these 3 lines again. Maximum production, restricted consumption, and equitable distribution. This is our Indian knowledge system as far as commerce, as far as economics is concerned. You have to produce maximum, no doubt, because प्रोडक्शन बढ़ने से इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ती है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ते हैं, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होते हैं, नंबर ऑफ these are correlated with 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 up to 100. So you have to have produce maximum, because अगर आप उत्पादन नहीं करेंगे तो व्यवसाय नहीं बढ़ेगा, व्यवसाय नहीं बढ़ेगा तो रोजगार नहीं बढ़ेगा, रोजगार नहीं बढ़ेगा तो कंजम्पशन। तो it is correlated, it is interlinked with 1 2 3 4 up to last. So maximum production, कहीं भी हमारे यहाँ ऐसा नहीं कहा गया है कि प्रोडक्शन आप मत करो, ऐसा कहा गया है कि प्रोडक्शन मैक्सिमम करो, क्योंकि प्रोडक्शन होने से ही रिसोर्स का ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशन हो सकता है. दिस इज वन. Second, what is the point of restricted consumption? Indian philosophy confined to restricted consumption and Western philosophy confined to use and throw policy. Use and throw is not our policy. Our principle is, it is not our policy. Restricted consumption is not our policy. Restricted consumption is our philosophy. Restricted consumption is our principle. Try to understand the difference between policy and principle. Honesty is not the policy. Usually we used to say, na, honesty is our policy. Honesty is a policy, is a Western culture. Our culture says honesty is our principle. It is not our policy. I hope you know the difference between policy and principle. Honesty is our principle. Honesty is our philosophy in that way. So on the same line, for example, as I used to mention, that we used to restricted consumption. Restricted consumption is our principle, is our philosophy. आपको consume करना है. For example, you have 3 mobiles, you have 2 mobiles, one is okay, one is required. So up to one, no issue. If you required, you are a businessman and you don't have any choice, you don't have any option, then you may have one plus. One plus means extra. Point is, for the sake of status, for the sake of symbol, for the sake of likes, for the sake of fashion, for the sake of passion, whatever, we used to have a 3 mobiles. Very simple example, but as a teacher of economics and costing and commerce, I am used to make. For everyday different chappal, for everyday different shoes, for everyday different, okay, I may understood dress, because if you are in Mumbai, if you are in, because daily you have to change the dress, no issue. So as far as dress is concerned, it is okay. But chappal, everyday different sort of cosmetic. On for Monday this, for Wednesday this, for Tuesday this, for Thursday this. You may feel that this is a very, I am diverting from my own example. 100% I am not diverting from my own example. I am very stick up with restricted consumption. What happen if you not restrict the consumption? If you not restrict your consumption, then unnecessary, unwanted, dead investment, idle investment you generate. For example, if you purchase 3 sandals, if you purchase 7 sandals, sandals, I used to say shoes. You use only one shoes in a day for some hours. What about next? It's a dead investment. See, we have 144 crores population. 144 crores population. I used to repeat. For example, only 10%, 10%, 10%. Round up figure 140 crore. Only 10% people, they purchase our product. Means 14 crores. For example, soap. I am now confined to FMCG product. I hope some of you know the meaning of FMCG. FMCG stands for fast moving consumer goods. FMCG. I am quoting a simple example for understanding. 140 crores population of our country. Out of 140, I am very conservative. I am very limited to or restricted myself. Only 10% people purchase our product. You are producing soap. You are producing soap. Now, 14 crores, even if 10% means 14 crores. You know the number means 14 crores. How many zeros are there after 14? So point is 14 crores in that FMCG goods. I remember that I was listening the interview of chairman of FMCG goods long back, some 7 to 8 years before. I forget his name, but he was there in on television. What he said, very simple for understanding and for executing. For example, we purchase soap. Soap is a FMCG goods. I don't want to mention any name, otherwise it is ethically not correct. But just for the sake, otherwise I don't have any blame on that. For example, Lyriel soap. Just I'm referring. Now, normally you purchase that soap, the price of that soap may be 30 rupees. Just hypothetical figure I'm quoting. What the point I want to refer is different. We purchase that soap on the basis of MRP. We paid 30 rupees, have the product at our home. On that soap that is package, it is being mentioned the price and weight. For example, it is 100 gram. Very simple. 100 gram. 100 gram. Not a single consumer, including me, even if I know and even if I used to deliver this example so many times, but I never make that. Not a single consumer, whenever he purchased the soap from retail market, from that shop, from that market, nowadays multi-shop and all that all. When he started to use that product, really have the weight at their home, whether really it is 100 gram or not, because we don't have weaving machine at our house. Many exception, maybe point 1. Friends, or the point is very important and serious and very ethically correct. Ethically, that is wrong. Actual weight of that soap is not 100 gram. It is 90 or 92, for example. Now, the reduction in the weight of that soap of 8 grams instead of 100 into 14 crore soap. So 14 crores into 8 gram. See, count the benefit which may occur to the manufacturer. In a way, he is getting the price of 100 gram. Actually, he is giving 92 gram product. So of course, it is unethical. And I'm not at all criticizing and blaming and making the comment that it happened to all products. But majority of the products in the market, they are following this. We are so much so casual and we are so much so. This is one point. Another, in every our family, restricted consumption, I want to emphasize on that point. In every our family, middle class family, higher middle class, lower middle class. For example, there are 4 people: father, mother, child, girl, boy. Now, grandfather, grandmother, okay, if it is there, then no issue. It is actually expected in our joint family system, but at least minimum 4 persons. Every individual has its own choice. सौंदर्य प्रेमियों का साबुन अलग, लड़कों का साबुन अलग, महिलाओं का साबुन अलग, पुरुषों का साबुन अलग, किसी बाबा का साबुन अलग, रामदेव बाबा का साबुन अलग, इस बाबा का साबुन अलग. I'm not against that Baba and so, just for the sake of example I am referring. So minimum 5 to 6 soaps are there in our bathroom. Minimum 3 to 4 soaps are there in our bathroom. Under the good name of hygiene, under the good name of quality, under the good name of likes, under the good name of variety, under the good name of smell, under the good name of price, under the number of motives are there. See, one soap used for bath. How many? 4. 14 crores, one soap. It means 14 into 4, 56 crores soap sold as far as that category is concerned. Varieties are different. One produced by one company, other produced by other company, but 4 soaps. And what is the life of soap? As it is fast moving consumer goods. Already I made it clear. Fast moving. So the life of soap is hardly 15 days to 20 days. Depends on how much time you may make a use of it. But 15 or 20 days. So after the expiry of 20 days, again you purchase the product. See how this FMCG, the same is the case of paste, same is the case of fog, same is the case of number of. And that is why these big companies, big multinational companies, they are spending, they are investing, not wasting. They are spending lakhs, not lakhs, crores of rupees on the advertisement. And we are also so much so familiar with what is our Indian philosophy towards, principle towards, you have to restrict the consumption. Why to restrict the consumption? Because in place of 4 soaps you purchased, if you purchased only 2 soaps or 1 soap, then the price that you are going to invest in remaining 3 soaps, you may make a use of price of that 10 rupees per price, for example, or as I say 30 rupees. So you may make 90 rupees because total soaps 120, per soap 30. Only 1 soap you purchase, then 30 rupees is okay, it is obvious. But remaining you will save 90 rupees, and you may make use of these 90 rupees to purchase some other commodity which is your really required essential product. For example, education, for example, health. Otherwise, if you purchase book, nothing like it. In place of this, you may purchase in place of Maggie, or in place of this fog, or otherwise which type of products we used to many people used to use it. So if you purchased, I am not at all making a comment from my side that you should not spend, because unless and until you spend and unless and until you invest, how the economy will grow. But if you spend that 90 rupees instead of this only, if you purchase some other product, then that industry, that factory, that commodity will enhance. The same is the case of shoes. For Monday, different shoes. For Tuesday, different shoes. 7 shoes. So instead of 7 shoes, only 3 shoes, 2 shoes, one pair of 3 shoes, pair of 4 shoes, pair of 1 shoes. Actually, 1 shoes, but okay, 2 is required, 4 is required. What about remaining 3 or 4? So you may save it. Consumption should be restricted. My comment is not at all not to consume. You have to have consume, because you have very basic necessity: food, clothing, shelter, education, and health. This is our basic necessity. So you have to have consume. But irrespective of maximum consumption, unwanted consumption, unrequired consumption, if you restricted to consumption, definitely our economy will grow in other way around. Try to understand. In other way around. It doesn't mean that you should save and you should put it in bank. You may make a use of it. We are not saying that you should not spend the money, but you should not spend the money otherwise required. For example, plastic. That is why we are discussing environment also on the way. Now 4G, 5G, 6G, coming time 7G will occur. Maybe required or not. Data. How much data we use in a day? But nowadays, for example, I asked because of course I am not against. I am using mobile. I am using my mobile is Apple mobile, no issue. But I'm not using WhatsApp. I'm not at all on social media. But okay, I'm not against those who are on social media. They may. So there is no any restriction, or there is no any negative comment from my side, because in some way it is required. Just for the sake, I asked Geo that I want such plan where I will just make a call and get a. But they said no. You have to have that data use. Now 4G. How many people use 5G? How many people right now also there are 57, 58. You use for 5G service delivered, or you use 5G data as part of latter year. Previously it was 3G, then 4G, now it is 5G. Point is consumption should be restricted, and otherwise production should be maximum. If you followed these two, then there will be equitable distribution. What has happened in our country, in our economy, that distribution is completely inequitable. Completely inequitable. Why? That is why today I requested to you all to please listen the budget, for example, in one way, indirectly. For example, taxpayers. Only honest taxpayers are very limited. And why they are honest? Because they don't have any option. For example, salaried people, tax deducted at source. But honest business oriented taxpayers, they are very limited. what is the biggest challenge of finance minister or of our government, either as center or state, irrespective of Karnataka or Bengal or so whosoever? What is the biggest challenge of every government, state or central, that how to encourage the or how to increase the tax paying people, number of tax paying people? They are not at all there because they are, as some of you might heard the term avoidance of tax and evasion of tax. I repeat, avoidance of tax and evasion of tax. I understood avoidance of tax. Avoidance of tax is maybe acceptable. I repeat, avoidance of tax may be acceptable. Avoidance of tax may be acceptable means what? For example, if you want to avoid your 20 rupees as a tax, if you want to avoid your 20 rupees as your tax, then what is the remedy given by government or act or system? That you have to invest 100 rupees. So if you invest 100 rupees, you will avoid, you will save, you will now to pay a tax of rupees 20. So it is avoidance. So by using legal rules, by using existing provisions, you may avoid the tax. But what is the job of tax consultant in a way, other way around? I am not criticizing and blaming all tax consultants, sorry. But what is the biggest job done by the tax consultant or consultant in a way? How to evade the tax. Evasion is not at all acceptable or allowed, and that is why there is inequitable distribution in our country. Evasion is not allowed. As in Marathi, it is called कर बुडविणे. कर भरना ही नहीं है. You may minimize the कर, you may minimize the tax, you may avoid the tax by using some different provisions which are approved by the act. So point is, inequitable distribution creates number of problems in every sort of society. And that is why, as I mentioned in the beginning, Indian knowledge system, as an economic teacher, as a commerce teacher, as a costing teacher, as an accounts teacher, as a finance teacher, as a whatever, मुझे ये, for example, these three underlying principle मुझे बताना है: maximum production, restricted consumption, and equitable distribution. And the beneficiary, हमारे समाज में, हमारे देश में, हमारे राष्ट्र में, as I mentioned the number 140 crores. So all people will get the benefit. आपने जो अभी after 2014 our central government has started to have a different launches, different type of system or different types of process, and that is Ujala, gas, electricity. So समाज का अंत का जो व्यक्ति होता है, अंत का यानी कि those who are in real need of, not criminal, those who are in real need of the benefit, उस बेनिफिशियरी तक आपकी बेनिफिट जाना चाहिए. इसे कहते हैं इंटीग्रल ह्यूमैनिज्म. दिस इज द फिलॉसफी एंड प्रिंसिपल डेवलप्ड बाय पंडित दीन दयाल उपाध्याय. I am requesting you, advising you, requesting you, all people, those who are here, please go through with the book written by, not written by actually, he developed the theory and he presented the theory called as the integral humanism, Ekatma Manav Darshan, designed by Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay. If you remember the second speech delivered by Honorable Prime Minister in the Parliament in 2015, first speech, just welcome speech and all that, and the second speech which he delivered in the Parliament, what he said, that I will follow, I means my government will follow all policies and principles, and that hereafter we will follow our policy based on integral humanism, the philosophy developed by Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay. And it is very simple. समाज के हर वर्ग को, हर व्यक्ति को जिसे जो बेनिफिट मिलना चाहिए, उस हर व्यक्ति तक हमारी योजना पहुंचे. The common example we used to quote, I don't want to make it political statement, what the statement given by Rajiv Gandhi or so, but it was a fact that we delivered rupee, we give rupees 1, and at the end beneficiaries received only 15 paise. This is the official comment made by the then Prime Minister in the Parliament. That is why I am quoting. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर ऐसा होता है तो what is the difference in between other culture and other philosophy and our Indian philosophy? इंडियन फिलोसॉफी कहती है यू हैव टू फॉलो वैल्यू सिस्टम, यू हैव टू फॉलो इथिकल सिस्टम, यू हैव टू फॉलो यू प्रिंसिपल्स, एंड समाज के अंत तक हम आपकी योजना पहुंचनी चाहिए। तो अभी ऐसा हो रहा है नहीं, तो हमें करना है। एज ए टीचर वी हैव टू टीच इन द क्लास। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग द सेम, मैक्सिमम प्रोडक्शन, restricted consumption, and equitable distribution. If you teach this principle in the class with some proper examples and with some proper consequences, and consequences in the some benefits in the sense, definitely student will understood. But if you said, sir, ये सिलेबस में नहीं है, ये यूनिवर्सिटी ने दिया नहीं है, ये हमारे करिकुलम में नहीं है, तो हम क्यों पढ़ाएं? सी हमारा बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम क्या है, मैंने बाबा वाक्यम प्रमाणम, ऐसे मेरी धारणा है। जो जो बोला है वही हम करेंगे, जो सिलेबस में दिया है वही हम करेंगे। बरसों से हमारा सिलेबस गलत, इन सम टॉपिक्स, आई एम नॉट सेइंग ऑल, बरसों से हमारा सिलेबस गलत हम डेवलप कर रहे हैं, तो आगे वही बढ़ाएंगे क्या? आपने किस आपको आपके हाथ किसने थाम के रखे है क्या? आपको किसने बोला है क्या कि इन द क्लास यू हैव टू टीच दिस ओनली? हम जिसको करना नहीं ना, वो क्या बोलता है, ये हमारा ऑटोनॉमस कॉलेज नहीं है, हमारा सिलेबस यूनिवर्सिटी बनाती है, हमारा तो ये यूजीसी ने बोला ही नहीं है। ये व्हाट इज द, वेयर इज द रोल ऑफ यूजीसी एंड यूनिवर्सिटी एंड सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एंड स्टेट गवर्नमेंट एंड प्रिंसिपल एंड मैनेजमेंट? यू ओनली विल डिलीवर द सेशन इन योर क्लास। आप आपके क्लासरूम के राजा हो। जो आपको चाहिए, यानी कि आपको जो चाहिए वो नहीं, वो भारत का ज्ञान परंपरा आपको बढ़ाना है। नहीं तो मुझे ये अच्छा नहीं लगता, आपको कौन पूछता है आपको अच्छा लगता है या नहीं लगता? जो भारत की ज्ञान परंपरा है, जो फिलॉसफी है, जो प्रिंसिपल है, वो आपको पढ़ाने हैं। तो ये पढ़ाने के लिए किसने आपके हाथ में काम, किसने आपको रोका है? लेकिन हम बोलते नहीं नहीं, वो क्या है, बदलाव बहुत मुश्किल हो रहा है, यूजीसी ने अभी तक बोला नहीं, यूनिवर्सिटी ने अभी तक बोला नहीं, हमारे प्रिंसिपल ये बहुत मुझे ये करते हैं, हमारी मैनेजमेंट अच्छी नहीं है, स्टूडेंट क्लास में बैठते नहीं है। अरे ये बहानाते, 100 बहाने हैं, 100 बहाने हैं। मुझे 45 मिनट्स, फॉर एग्जाम्पल 50 मिनट्स, अभी 50 मिनट का लेक्चर है, तो मुझे 50 मिनट के लेक्चर में जो भारतीय ज्ञान परंपरा, आई रिपीट द सेंटेंस अगेन व्हाट इज मेंशन, प्राइड इन इंडिया एंड इट्स रिच डाइवर्स एंशिएंट एंड मॉडर्न कल्चर एंड नॉलेज सिस्टम एंड ट्रेडिशन, ये हमें पढ़ानी है। इसके लिए किसकी जरूरत है? सिलेबस ना, सिलेबस की जरूरत, हाँ अभी सिलेबस बन रहे हैं, अभी करिकुलम डेवलप हो रहे हैं, अभी वो तो हम बोले ना कि वी आर फॉलोइंग दैट अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड एनालिसिस एंड इंटरप्रिटेशन, दैट लैडर हम बोलते हैं, पेडागोगिक, व्हाटएवर। आपने अगर तय किया, आपने अगर थाम लिया कि ये मुझे पढ़ाना है, in link with, I have to link with my subject. For example, you are teaching Marathi, you are teaching philosophy, you are teaching psychology, you are teaching humanities, you are teaching engineering, you are teaching medical, you are teaching law, you are teaching commerce, you are number of, because as it is orientation program, so different faculties may be there. आपके विषय के अनुसार भारत की ज्ञान परंपरा क्या कहती है, ये आपको एक बिंदु है। मैं ऐसा नहीं बोलता कि नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में सिर्फ भारत की ज्ञान परंपरा ही बोलना है, लेकिन भारत की ज्ञान परंपरा का पहले आपको अभिमान होना चाहिए। नहीं तो हम ही कैसे बोलते हैं, अरे हमारा देश बहुत करप्ट है, हमारे देश बहुत अनएम्प्लॉयड है, हमारे देश में कुछ नहीं अच्छा होने वाला, बाहरी लोग जा रहे हैं, हमारे देश में क्या रखा है, एक्सीडेंट हो रहे हैं, ये हो रहे हैं। यार please see, every time to please, as it is orientation program, that is why I am using this example, glass of water, half filled, half empty. You as a teacher, those are recently started, I hope that you are recently entered in this profession, please see the filled part of glass, filled water, and you have to fill remaining in your during life of 15 years or 20 years as a teaching profession. आपको ये जो खाली है, पानी से खाली है, वो आपको भरना है। लेकिन अगर आपने सिर्फ खाली क्लास देख लिया, अरे उसमें कुछ दम नहीं है, इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टम कुछ नहीं, मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी कुछ नहीं, यूजीसी कुछ नहीं करती, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं करता, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट कुछ नहीं करता, प्रिंसिपल तो बोगस है, मैनेजमेंट तो ये नहीं। अगर आप ऐसे बहाने करने लगे तो the basic underlying principle of philosophy of national education policy, we will have the collapse that policy, or will collapse the basic sense of that policy. Coming to the basic point of my discussion, for example, the point first principle which is mentioned in national education policy, recognizing, identifying and fostering, every word is important. अभी क्या हो रहा है, अंग्रेजी में बोलना, दिस इज अ सॉर्ट ऑफ इंटेलेक्चुअल क्लास। अगर मैं मराठी हिंदी में आई स्टार्टेड इन हिंदी, और इफ आई स्टार्टेड इन मराठी, ऑफ कोर्स ओके, दोज हु नॉट अंडरस्टूड मराठी आई कैन अंडरस्टूड, जो मराठी नहीं जानते उनके लिए मैं समझ सकता हूँ। लेकिन मैं पुणे में सिखाता हूँ, पुणे इज इन महाराष्ट्र, एंड इन महाराष्ट्र मराठी इज आवर मदर टंग, दैट इज स्टेट लैंग्वेज। अभिजात दर्जा अभी मिला भी है मराठी भाषा को, लेकिन मैं मेरे क्लास में मराठी अगर पढ़ाने लगता हूं तो लोग बोलते हैं सर प्लीज से इन इंग्लिश। व्हाई इन इंग्लिश? बिकॉज अंग्रेजी में जो कहते हैं वो इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग होते हैं, और जो मराठी में बोलते हैं, तमिल में बोलते हैं, तेलुगु में बोलते हैं, कन्नड़ में बोलते हैं, कश्मीरी में बोलते हैं, पंजाबी में बोलते हैं, वो गवार लोग हैं। दिस सॉर्ट ऑफ विमर्श, ये जो विमर्श तैयार हुआ है ना, ये जो नैरेटिव तैयार हुआ है, ये नैरेटिव हमें दूर करना है। भारत की भाषा, भारत की भूषा, भारत का वेश, भारत का खान पान, भारत की संस्कृति, भारत का इतिहास हमें लोगों को बताना है। इसमें ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है कि आपको अंग्रेजी पढ़ाना नहीं है, अंग्रेजी पढ़ाओ। एक्चुअली टोटल नंबर ऑफ अल्फाबेट्स इन इंग्लिश 26, आई रिपीट, total number of alphabets in English 26, and for which I belongs to Marathi, total number of alphabets in Marathi 52. So exactly doubled. So कौन सी भाषा प्रगल्भ हो गई, मराठी हो गई या अंग्रेजी हो गई? Obviously मराठी है, because 52 alphabets are there. In English only 21 स्वर और व्यंजन हम बोलते हैं, A E I O U and 21. So 21 plus 5. मराठी में 52 alphabets हैं. So my point is, please do not impress, or please do not interpret on the basis of language what he delivered from the other side. अंग्रेजी बोलना यानी ज्ञान का भंडार, और लोकल लैंग्वेज में, इसीलिए इसमें बोला है कि यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई द कैपेबिलिटीज ऑफ ईच स्टूडेंट। आप जिस स्टूडेंट को पढ़ा रहे हैं, what is the first underlying principle mentioned in national education policy? Recognizing, identifying, fostering the unique capabilities of a student by sensitizing. ये जो हम कर रहे हैं ना अभी, orientation, it's a sort of sensitization. So by sensitizing teachers as well as parents, क्योंकि parent is also integral part of our education system. बहुत बार ऐसा होता है कि parent को कुछ समझता ही नहीं कि क्या चल रहा है, और हम पेरेंट्स को कुछ समझ देते ही नहीं कि ये ऐसा हमारी सिस्टम है, ये आपके बस की बात नहीं, ऐसा हम बोलते हैं। ऐसा नहीं, पेरेंट ऑल्सो नीड टू एटलीस्ट इनिशियल नॉलेज ही शुड हैव। सो एज वेल एज पेरेंट्स टू प्रमोट ईच स्टूडेंट्स होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट, underline the term holistic development in both academic and non-academic spheres. That is why in national education policy credits are given to academics also and non-academics also with CGPA. For example, 132 credits degree, out of that 132, some credits are for academics and some credits are for other credits, maybe non-academic spheres, which will foster his personality, which will enhance and improve his personality. So, friends, as a teacher, you are in this profession and you rightly selected this profession. I am proud of. You have to recognize and you have to identify the unique capabilities of teacher, student, but friends, identifying, recognizing, fostering these unique capabilities of your student is not at all possible through online mode. is not at all possible through digital literacy, is not at all possible through this other source other than offline. आपको आपके विद्यार्थियों के साथ व्यक्तिगत व्यक्तिगत यानी क्लासरूम क्लासरूम में बात करनी होगी, डिस्कशन करना होगा, डिबेट करना होगा, ग्रुप डिस्कशन करना होगा। नहीं तो अभी क्या है, आई विल सेंड दिस टू व्हाट्सएप, प्लीज सबमिट इट। अभी नोटिस भी व्हाट्सएप से आ रहे हैं, मीटिंग भी व्हाट्सएप पर हो रही है, सब व्हाट्सएप सब ई सोर्स के साथ हो रहा है। और लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं, सर आप किस जमाने के हो, आप यू डोंट नो मॉडर्न कल्चर, द मॉडर्न कल्चर इज टू यूज द ऑनलाइन, you are teaching me online, I am using Apple mobile, I am using advanced, I know what is chat and what is AI and what is impact etc etc, but आपको अगर स्टूडेंट्स की कैपेबिलिटी आइडेंटिफाई करनी है तो उसके साथ संवाद करना पड़ेगा, उसे संपर्क करना पड़ेगा, उसके साथ बोलना पड़ेगा, उसके साथ सब्जेक्ट के अलावा भी आपको कुछ उनके साथ चर्चा करनी पड़ेगी। नहीं तो वी आर रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टू 45 मिनट्स लेक्चर, once I finish my lecture please do not come to my cabin. No, you must open, you must allow that student to interact, क्योंकि बहुत बार ऐसा होता है स्टूडेंट घबराते हैं, आपके पास आते ही नहीं। और एक बार ऐसा आपका नाम हो गया ना कि अरे ये कुछ ये नहीं होता, तो स्टूडेंट विल नेवर कम टू यू, स्टूडेंट विल नेवर टर्न टू यू, as you are the beginners. As I did my 34 years of service, so now I am going to retire by 3 years. Point is, you are newcomers. तो मेरा आपसे आह्वान है, रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा समय with principal and with of course following rules and regulation within classroom itself and within college itself, not anywhere, student के साथ आपको चर्चा करनी है, then and then only you will realize his capability. नहीं तो आप गूगल फॉर्म दे दो, आप क्वेश्चनर भर के दे दो, मैं इसका चार्ट कराऊंगा, मैं इसका इंटरप्रिटेशन कराऊंगा और मैं रिपोर्ट तैयार करूंगा, हो गया हमारा आइडेंट। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, ये गूगल फॉर्म वगैरह सब बकवास है एज फार एज दिस आइडेंटिफिकेशन इज कंसर्न। फॉर रिसर्च इट इज ओके, आई एम a research guide and under my guidance, so I am not against Google form, but for identification of such capabilities, using online mode is not at all acceptable. This is first one. Second one, according to the highest priority, the term which is used is highest priority, that to achieve foundational literacy and numeracy. Foundational literacy and number has reduced now 52, previously it was 58, now it is 52. ये क्या हो रहा है? 51 now, ये नंबर कम हो रहा है। ये ऑनलाइन का एक ड्रॉबैक है। ऑफलाइन में हम बोल सकते हैं कि सर विथ परमिशन दे विल एग्जिट, और ऑनलाइन में अभी 50 हो गए। अब ये क्या मेरी मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं क्या आप? 51, 50, 50। मेरा एक ये है कि जो आर इन द बिगिनिंग दे मस्ट बी एट द एंड, लेकिन अभी वो 50 हो गए। ऑर्गेनाइजर प्लीज चेक इट नेक्स्ट टाइम, अदरवाइज इट्स वेरी, मैं मेरा समय जा नहीं रहा इसलिए इधर आ रहा हूँ क्या? या आप जो भी फ्रीडम है आपको, कभी भी आओ कभी भी जाओ, हैं? ये क्या धर्मशाला है क्या? ये ही धर्मशाला है क्या? कभी भी इधर लेक्चर में आओ, कभी भी ये करो। और अगर मैं किसी से पूछूंगा बाद में, नहीं नहीं, इट वाज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ रेंज, इट वाज अ प्रॉब्लम ऑफ लाइट्स, दिस इज नॉट दैट वे वेरी इथिकली, यू आर नॉट फॉलोइंग एज यू आर ओरिएंटेशन टीचर। सो ये ऑनलाइन का यही ड्रॉबैक है। अभी 8 लोग किधर गए? 58 थे, अभी 51 रह गए। ऑर्गेनाइजर प्लीज चेक इट नेक्स्ट टाइम। ओके, कमिंग टू द पॉइंट, foundational literacy and numeracy, biggest requirement of biggest expectation by the policy makers. मैं जो those who know Marathi, some of, I will say in English later, no doubt, पहाडे 2 2 2 4 जा 4 4 4 जा 2 4 6 likewise. मराठीमध्ये आम्ही म्हणतो, later on I will say in English, पावकी, listen the term, later on I will, पावकी, निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी, अकरकी, न्यूमरसी पार्ट ऑफ, 1 पाव पाव, 2 पाव अर्धा, 3 पाव पाऊण, 4 पाव 1, 5 पाव सव्वा, 6 पाव दीड, 7 पाव पावणे 2, 8 पाव सव्वा 2, 10 पाव, up to 100, 100 पाव 25. It means 100 1/4 25, 100 1 of 50. एक निम निम बे निम एक तीन निम दीड चार निम दोन पाच निम अडी सहा निम तीन सात निम साडेतीन आठ निम चार नऊ निम दहा निम पाच up to 150. So one half, one fourth, one half, पाव की, निम की, दीड की, अडीच की, 2 by half, out की, 3 by half, अकर की. So these type of numeracy we have lost, we have forget. हमें किसी ने सिखाई नहीं है तो हम कैसे सिखाएंगे? As a teacher, only I know पाव की, निम की. I also don't know what is दीड की, what is अडीच की, what is out की, and what is अकर की. But my mother, just 3 years before he died. So she knows all this because उनके जमाने में, because she learned before independence, उनके जमाने में ये पढ़ाया जाता था. लेकिन अभी क्या है, अभी ये पढ़ाया नहीं, हम ही नहीं पढ़े तो हम लोगों को कैसे पढ़ाएंगे? एनालिटिकल एबिलिटीज, क्रिएटिव, भाषण तो बहुत लंबे चौड़े देते हैं. You have to have analytical ability, you have to have creative ability, you have to have innovative ability, you have to have number of, but ये ability बढ़ेंगे कैसे? Unless and what is the message I am receiving? Just a minute. I will check the message. One of some of the participants had made the message.
Participant
एक
asking about English and Hindi language only. Actually, they are from other states and they don't understand Marathi.
चलेगा सर, इंग्लिश और हिंदी सर. ओके.
नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में ओके अदरवाइज आई डोंट डेविएट फ्रॉम माय बेसिक टॉपिक. एक वाक्य भी अगर मैं मराठी में बोलता हूं तो इमीडिएटली आते हैं, सर इंग्लिश में, मैं तमिल में बोलूं क्या, मैं कन्नड़ में बोलूं क्या? आपने अगर ठीक से सुना नहीं होगा, मैंने बोला था कि मैं मराठी में बोलने वाला हूं और बाद में आई विल कन्वर्ट इट इन इंग्लिश. इमीडिएटली सूचना आ गई कि अंग्रेजी में बोलिए, हिंदी में बोलिए. ओके, आपको अंग्रेजी बोलता है, आई विल नॉट यूज हिंदी. ओके, बिकॉज यूर नैरेटिव इज डिफरेंट. कमिंग टू द पॉइंट. लेकिन ये बच्चों के लिए ठीक नहीं है. कमिंग टू द पॉइंट. पॉइंट इज foundational literacy and numeracy is very much required. Unfortunately, nowadays we forget this numeracy part of, because we as a teacher, I asked this question to my mathematics professor. Yeah, you just make it this. No, so he failed to, because what he said that I have not learned from my class, from during my school day. So as he is not taught during his school days, then how he is capable to make it? And that is why in national education policy, please, as all of you may aware, the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure, 5 3 3 4 structure of school education up to 12th. No, not only that, the very fundamental or basic part of that is given as a early childhood care and education, the foundation of learning. I repeat the term, ECCE, ECCE, early childhood care and education from 0 to 6, from 0 to 6, from 0 to 6, up to the age of 6. You have to, because what is being taught, over 85% of a child's cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6. This is the sentence given in the national education policy. Over 85% of a child's cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6. Just to introspect yourself, as all of you are here, up to the age of your 6, including me, you and all, जो हमने पढ़ा, जो हमने सुना, जो हमें याद, वो अब भी याद है, अब भी याद है, अब भी याद है. This is the psychological result. It is what is called as a scientific result. Medical part of, over 85% of a child's cumulative brain development occurs prior to the age of 6, indicating the critical importance of appropriate care and stimulation of the brain in the early years in order to ensure healthy brain development and growth. Presently, this is I am reading the paragraph given in. Presently, quality of early childhood care education is not available to cross of young children, particularly children from socio-economically disadvantaged backgrounds. हम जो बोलते हैं ना समाज का जो ऐसा वर्ग है कि जिसमें जैसा मैंने बोला था कि एकात्म मानव दर्शन में कि डिसएडवांटेज्ड बैकग्राउंड्स उधर कोई सुविधा पहुंची ही नहीं है अभी तक. ऐसे वर्ग के लोगों को भी those who are socially and economically disadvantaged backgrounds, investment in early childhood care education is required, has the potential to give all young children such access. हर विद्यार्थी का ये अनिवार्य हक होना चाहिए कि उसे अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एज में उसको अच्छी शिक्षा मिले. ये इसका हक है, राइट है in a way. Whosoever, that is socio-economically disadvantaged background people also, enabling them to participate and flourish in the educational system throughout their lives. Up to 6 years जो वो पढ़ता है, सो ही अगर वो अप टू 6 years अगर वो अच्छी पढ़ाई उसको मिल गई तो आगे पूरे लाइफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं. हमारे यहाँ यही प्रायोरिटी नहीं हो रही है कि अर्ली चाइल्डहुड केयर एजुकेशन में ध्यान नहीं दे रहे हैं और बाकी जो है 5, 3, 3 इसीलिए 5 में उन्होंने ये भी लाया है. The point is enabling them to participate and flourish in the educational system throughout their lives. Universal provisioning of quality early childhood development, care and education must thus be achieved as soon as possible and no later than 2030. Please underline this year 2030 to ensure that all students entering grade 1 are school ready. पॉलिसी मेकर्स की भी यही अपेक्षा है कि ये जो पॉलिसी है ना 5334 स्ट्रक्चर, ये पॉलिसी पट्टी अरे मैडम आई विल टेक अ ब्रेक ऑफ 5 minutes because now the number is so declined 47. I will have a break of 5 minutes 10 minutes then we will have,
ओके
otherwise I am not entertaining such type of ये अभी
सर
46
बऱ्याचदा
हो
काय
गया
होतं ना, कधी कधी नेटवर्कचा इश्यू असतो
अहो ते
लोकांना.
अहो सांगायची कारण असतात हो, हे नका मला सांगू तुम्ही. ही नाटकं असतात सगळे, काय असं नसतं. इट इज जस्ट ओके अपार्ट फ्रॉम,
आणि
कारण असं
आपण
होत नाही
मेसेज
ना.
पाठवला सर व्हॉट्सअपवरती, जे जे अब्सेंट दिसत आहेत ना त्यांना सरांनी मेसेज पाठवला की त्यांनी लवकरात लवकर जॉईन करावं म्हणून.
So after 5 to 6 minutes I will back.
येस सर, येस सर.
Okay. Madam, namaste.
Yes, sir.
बोलू शकतो? We'll start.
हो, sir.
Thank you. Okay. So, with a required break of 5 minutes, again we are here. Thank you. So, now the point which I am discussing, that the second principle is a foundational literacy and numeracy. My advice, request, suggestion to all, please focus on this numeracy part of during early childhood care education plus first standard, second standard, third standard. Of course, you may ask me the question, sir, we are teaching at higher education, no doubt, because it has no any concern with you. But as you are in higher education also, for example, in my class, I am teaching TY BCom costing. So to all students of my class, I used to ask, you have the tables of 1 to 30, 2 to 30. Unless and until you have the table of 2 to 30, you will not. This is in oral itself, I am making this in oral exam itself. Please have the 29, 28, 30. That is very easy, for example. But likewise, so for example, this really indirectly enhance and improve your analytical ability and all type of ability we used to say, na? We used to mention in our practice. So such type of abilities really improve with this foundational literacy, fundamental literacy, conceptual clarity and numeracy. Because what is happening nowadays in practice, that students don't have a conceptual clarity. I repeat the term conceptual clarity. For example, commerce. As I am teaching commerce, that is why I am making commerce, comment on commerce. You belong to different discipline, you may have your own concept. Commerce concept says, what is commerce in one line? What is commerce in one sentence? For example, trade plus aids to trade. This is commerce. So trade plus aids to trade, if you don't know this concept, and even if you have that type of excellence with your BCom degree, MCom degree, MPhil degree, PhD degree, without knowing these basics, in accountancy there are three rules. Even if we are using computerized accounting and with different systems or with different packages or with different program, but debit the receiver, credit the giver, debit what comes in, credit what goes out, and debit expenses and losses and credit gains and income. This is the foundational and conceptual part of commerce. Even if you have a CA or CS or ICWA or whatever degree, PhD degree, postdoc degree, whatever, basics remains the same. Debit is one part, credit is other part. Debit on one side, credit on other side. Once it is expenditure, income is there. क्योंकि हम बोलते हैं ना कि once you spend, for you it is spending, but for someone it is income, and that is why debit and credit. So the concept of debit and credit, not a single student asked me during my 34 years of service, sir, why debit to it called as a debit and why it is to be called as a credit? Because why to call debit and why to call credit, it has also a relevance. It has also called as a rational. So you as a teacher of commerce need to teach in the class the concept of your basic novel knowledge and numeracy. So foundational literacy, conceptual clarity, and numeracy. These are the three required principle mentioned in national education policy, for which there is no need of any given syllabus to you by your university, by your college, by your principal, by UGC. You as a teacher have to have discuss over and above your 1000 minutes teaching timetable, because 980 or 1000, this is a dilemma we are facing. So if you want to really identify the capabilities of the student, you have to have spent, you have to have invest, you have to have contribute your time for the development of the student. That is why we used to say that student is at center of this education system. विद्यार्थी एक केंद्र बिंदु होता है, ऐसा हम मानते हैं, लेकिन अभी क्या हो रहा है, केंद्र बिंदु उधर ही है, लेकिन हम दूर 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 जा रहे हैं. As a teacher, as a principal, as a trust, as a management, as a university, as a UGC, हम दूर जा रहे हैं और विद्यार्थी उधर ही है, उधर का उधर ही है. उसको कुछ समझता ही नहीं है. व्हाट इज ये national education policy, what is CGPA, what is major subject, what is minor subject, what is OE, what is G, what is M, what is that, उसको कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. पेरेंट्स को तो समझने का सवाल ही नहीं, क्योंकि हम we are not at all delivering these topics, this policy up to last student or up to the last parent. आई कॉन्ग्रेचुलेट ऐसे ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम से तो थोड़ी थोड़ा हो रहा है, फिर भी ऑनलाइन हो रहा है, ये भी मेरी एक कंप्लेंट है, लेकिन ठीक है, नाउ इट्स अ पार्ट ऑफ, वी हैव टू एक्सेप्ट. पॉइंट इज, ऑफलाइन होने से योर फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन, योर गेस्चर्स, योर पोस्चर्स, योर, बिकॉज सी आंखों की भाषा होती है ना, आंखों की भाषा अलग है, लेकिन क्लासरूम आंखों की भाषा, यानी कि आप समझते हैं ना कि अरे उसको समझ गया है या नहीं समझा है. पोस्चर्स एंड गेस्चर्स एंड, बिकॉज आप आपका चेहरा कभी भी नहीं छुपा सकते. मैं अगर आज बोल रहा हूं और आपको अगर समझ रहा है तो आपके चेहरे पे वो इमीडिएटली रिफ्लेक्ट होता है, बिकॉज वी आर नॉट एक्टर ना, हम एक्टर नहीं है ना. एक्टर लोग चेहरा छिपाते हैं, लेकिन वी आर नॉट एक्टर, वी आर नेचुरल मैन ना. तो मैंने जो बात बोला वो आपको समझा या नहीं समझा, वो आपके स्टूडेंट को समझा या नहीं समझा, उसके चेहरे के आधार पर आप बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन ऑनलाइन पे ये हो नहीं सकता. Even if you on the camera, it has a limitation. Point is, my point is, as a teacher, if we confine if we emphasize, if you adopt these three only points, मुझे कॉमर्स पढ़ाना है ना, तो कॉन्सेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी स्टूडेंट को देनी है. मुझे कॉमर्स पढ़ाना है ना, तो न्यूमेरिटिकल एस्पेक्ट्स उनको पढ़ाने हैं. तो ये अगर हम करते हैं, तो यही नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी का पार्ट है. नेक्स्ट इज फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी, so that learners have the ability, I repeat, flexibility, so that learners have the ability to choose their learning programs and thereby choose their own path in life according to their talents and interest. तो अभी की ये जो पॉलिसी आपने अगर गौर से देखी, there are two parts, 5, 3, 3, 4 on one side and 3 years degree, 4 years degree, 5 years degree on other side. As we are in higher education, so we have 3 years degree program, we have 4 years degree program, and we have 5 years degree program. And on other side, initially 5, 3, 3, 4. So 5, 3, 3, 4 on one side, and 3 years degree program, 4 years degree program, and 5 years degree program. ये दोनों में भी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी होनी आवश्यक है, लवचिकता होनी आवश्यक है, इलास्टिसिटी होनी आवश्यक है. इलास्टिसिटी और फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी मीन्स व्हाट? As per the likes and dislikes, as per the interest of the student, वो उस हिसाब से वो पढ़ना अगर चाहता है, then you have to develop such a system. That is why the next related principle mentioned in national education policy, no hard separation between arts and science and commerce in between. And that is why उसको जो लगता है, इसका मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको सब आना चाहिए. इसका एक ही मतलब है कि बेसिक डोमेन नॉलेज तो रहना ही चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई एम कॉमर्स टीचर और आई एम टीचिंग टू कॉमर्स स्टूडेंट, तो उसको कॉमर्स का ज्ञान तो आना ही है. मिनिमम स्पेशलाइज नॉलेज ही हैव टू हैव. नहीं तो क्या होगा, मुझे म्यूजिक में भी रुचि है, मुझे डांस में भी रुचि है, मुझे चित्रकला में भी रुचि है, मुझे कॉमर्स में भी रुचि है, मुझे मेडिकल में भी रुचि है. ऐसा नहीं होता, ऐसा अपेक्षा भी नहीं है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में. नो हार्ड सेपरेशन ओनली मीन्स, as for example, and that is why if you critically as I am in higher education, so that I am quoting that example, 132 credits, out of 132 credits, 24 credits, I hope you know the division in between, 56, 52 and 24, 56, 52 and 24. So the 24 credits are for these likes music, I guess. I guess means, for example, music, and that is why other co-curricular activities, community engagement program, research projects. I hope you know all these co-curricular activities, NSS, NCC, sports, number of. In every college there are hundreds of options are available. It is a good, as in we are in higher education, so we follow the tree policy. TREE policy, I mentioned last time also. Tree policy means teaching, research, extension, expansion. Out of 132 credits, some credits for teaching, some credits for research, some credits for expansion, and some credits for extension activities. You as a teacher, you must have versatile. आपको पढ़ाना भी है, आपको रिसर्च भी करना है, क्योंकि रिसर्च करने से, जैसा मेरे इंट्रोडक्शन में बताया ना कि मैंने इतने लोगों को गाइड किया, मैंने इतने रिसर्च पेपर लिखे. अभी एपीआई के लिए तो लोग इतने रिसर्च पेपर लिख रहे हैं, पीयर रिव्यूड जर्नल, स्कोपस जर्नल, नंबर ऑफ, or we are improving our API. It has also some pros and cons, so that is not a topic for today's discussion. Otherwise, it's a very interesting topic. हाँ, ये API कैसे लोग बढ़ाते हैं, ये भी एक ओरिएंटेशन में एक विषय हो सकता है, लेकिन I don't want to make a comment on that. Sorry, because my API is okay, and now I am professor of grade 14, so that is different way. The point is, research आपको करना है, research paper आपको लिखने हैं, टीचिंग आपको करना है, एक्सटेंशन और एक्सपांशन एक्टिविटीज में भी आपको हिस्सा लेना है. दैट यू हैव टू हैव अ एनएसएस कोऑर्डिनेटर. आप तो आगे, अब आप बहुत से लोग तो ओरिएंटेशन कर रहे तो नए होंगे, तो आपके प्रिंसिपल आपको बोलेंगे कि आपको एनएसएस करना है, आपको एनसीसी करनी है, आपको ये देखना है, आपको वो देखना है. तो एक्सटेंशन और एक्सपांशन एक्टिविटी में भी आपको हिस्सा लेना है. ये हो गया आपका पार्ट. लेकिन स्टूडेंट ऑल्सो शुड पार्टिसिपेट इन टीचिंग, means learning. Students should also participate in research. That is why out of 132 credits, some credits are assigned to field project. On the job training, you heard the term OJT, on the job training. You heard the term research project. So
फोन झाला की मी तुम्हाला बी लावतो.
So students also used to participate in research activities or extension and expansion activities. Mitro, friends, as 900 days. Remember this figure very carefully. 900 days. What is this 900? I repeat. It is included in syllabus. Yes, it's included in syllabus. Nowadays it is included in syllabus because it's a part of credit CGPA. Previously, it was not a part of CGPA. Now it is a part of CGPA. Extension and expansion activities are the part of syllabus. Correct. Point is, मैं जो बता रहा था कि अभी रिसर्च आपको स्टूडेंट्स को एक्सटेंशन एक्सपांशन एक्टिविटी में हिस्सा लेना है तो उसको ऑप्शन होनी चाहिए किस एक्सटेंशन एंड एक्सपेंशन एक्टिविटीज में मैं जाऊं 900 डेज का जिक्र मैं कर रहा था 10 plus 2 plus 3 is our education pattern. Now it is different. Now it is 3 years degree, 4 years degree, 5 years degree. Let us have a 3 years degree. FY, SY, TY. First year, second year, third year. Now, and 11th and 12th, because National Education Policy started the implementation 2023-24. But so up to that, that structure was plus 2 and plus 3. So plus 2 means 11th, 12th. And plus 3 means FY, SY, TY. So 5 years. 5 years is educational life is 5 years. Higher education, 5 years. How many academic days are there in a year? Only 180 days or 180 days as per the need and requirement. So 180 into 5, 900. So we used to focus students only for 900 days. Or if other way around, if you took 3 years degree, FY, SY, TY, then 180 into 3, only 540 days. So for 540 days only that student is available for us. And within that 540 days, academic days, we have to teach them. We have to ask them to go for research activities. We have to ask them to go for extension and expansion activities. And that is why the remaining days out of 360 days in a year, 180 for academics and remaining 120 days for vacation and 60 days for examination. So National Education Policy also focused on that 120 days, for example, focusing on internship, focusing of field visit, focusing of research project, focusing on the job training. तो आपको स्टूडेंट्स को कहना है कि आप 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, 15 days, 8 days, number of hours accordingly, you have to work outside other than 180 days. Understand, other than 180 days. So the credits which are being allotted or which are being given to him based on this days part of. So students are, when he took the admission at FY, in college he is available for 540 days as academic. So आपको उनको पढ़ाना है, टीचिंग करना है, रिसर्च में भी रुचि निर्माण करनी है, एक्सटेंशन एक्टिविटीज में भी वो हिस्सा लेना है और एक्सपेंशन एक्टिविटीज में भी लेना है. It is called as a flexibility. You must give a flexibility, must give a option, must give a choice. टीचिंग में टीचिंग पेडागोगी अलग होनी चाहिए, रिसर्च में रिसर्च डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ऑप्शंस गिवन टू रिसर्च. आपको क्या करना है, फील्ड सर्वे करना है करो, आपको इंटरव्यू लेना है करो, आपको ये ओनली गूगल सर्वे, अगेन आई एम नॉट इन फेवर बट ओके, आपको सर्वे करना है, ऑनलाइन सर्वे करना है, व्हाटएवर. तो रिसर्च में ऑप्शन देने हैं, टीचिंग में ऑप्शन देने हैं, एक्सटेंशन एक्टिविटीज में ऑप्शन देने हैं. तो इफ you give an option, then that type of flexibility or elasticity is expected in this national education policy with no hard separation. The point which was started by me as a no hard separation. Basic knowledge commerce required, basic knowledge arts required, basic knowledge science required, fundamental knowledge science required. But over and above his basic and domain knowledge, other types of extension expansion activities, he must have that, he must be part of that activities with no hard separation and having multidisciplinary and holistic education. All these are interconnected with each other. multidisciplinary and a holistic education across the science and social science and arts and humanities and sports for a multidisciplinary world in order to ensure the unity and integrity. The two terms are very specific used in this NEP, that unity and integrity of all knowledge. Because जैसा मैंने कहा कि maximum production, restricted consumption and equitable distribution, it is not only restricted to economics. It is restricted to all spheres of kala, science, engineering. How to link it is your skill. उसको कैसा लिंक करना है ये आपका मुद्दा है और ये आपकी एक्सपर्टाइज है. नहीं तो स्टूडेंट्स इफ ही लूज द इंटरेस्ट देन ही विल नॉट लर्न टू योर क्लास. क्योंकि अभी हायर एजुकेशन की एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या पूरे देश भर में है. आई रिपीट द टर्म, पूरे देश भर में, irrespective of states you belongs to. Non-attendance, that is attendance of the student in the class, is the biggest problem faced by the higher education institutes, irrespective of the type and nature and size of university or etc. For the sake we said that no, 75% attendance is there in the class, and we used to have the attendance sheet, and we used to have that type of attendance through online, through offline, and through this mode and that mode. But the biggest problem, majority, I'm not criticizing, sorry, I'm not criticizing to all, but majority of the education institute, they are the centers of admission and examination. In between students, where they go, we don't know. प्रवेश और परीक्षा के केंद्र यानी महाविद्यालय हो गए हैं. Why it happens? Because students lose the interest. उनको कुछ रुचि ही निर्माण नहीं हो रही है. तो उसको रुचि निर्माण करने के लिए ये नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी है. जिस विषय में आपको रुचि है, that choices are available with us, options are available with us. No doubt, I am also a member of teacher association, so I know that there are number of practical problems. Workload, timetable, CHB, part-time, full-time, grantable, non-grantable, number of issues are there. Not filling of post, too much to time limit, number of. लेकिन उसके विद्यार्थी स्टूडेंट हैज नो एनी कंसर्न विद. हमें विद्यार्थियों को अच्छा पढ़ाना है, हमारा प्रॉब्लम है. आई एम नॉट एट ऑल देयर टू से दैट. लेकिन उसको मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी एंड होलिस्टिक एजुकेशन अगर हमको देना है तो वी हैव टू चेंज द सिस्टम और इंटीग्रल हमें वो करना होगा. एंड एम्फसाइजिंग ऑन, अगेन लिंक विथ, जैसा शुरू में मैंने बोला था, emphasize on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams. स्पेसिफिक वर्ड यूज किया है, जैसा मैंने बोला ना कि द सेंटर्स आर ओनली द सेंटर्स ऑफ एडमिशन एंड एग्जामिनेशन. तो पॉलिसी मेकर्स को भी मालूम है कि इफ यू नॉट फोकस्ड ऑन कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग देन इट्स अ रूट लर्निंग एंड लर्निंग फॉर एग्जाम्स ओनली. अगर स्टूडेंट विद्यार्थी केवल परीक्षा के लिए पढ़ रहा है, हम परीक्षा के लिए पढ़ा रहे हैं, इसीलिए अभी एग्जामिनेशन शब्द नहीं इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं हम. इसीलिए नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में शब्द जो आगे मैं बताऊंगा, असेसमेंट एंड इवैल्यूएशन. नाउ द डेज आर गॉन ऑफ एग्जामिनेशन, 3 hours एग्जाम लेना है, ऐसा नहीं कि इट इज नाउ एबोलिश्ड. लेकिन असेसमेंट आपको करना है, उसका इवैल्यूएशन करना है. वो इवैल्यूएशन का भी उन्होंने बोला है कि फोकस ऑन रेगुलर फॉर्मेटिव असेसमेंट फॉर लर्निंग. I repeat the sentence again. Regular, formative. What is the term used? Regular, formative assessment. Regular, formative assessment for learning. Focus on regular, formative assessment, not examination, for learning, rather than the summative assessment that encourage today's coaching culture. तो अभी का जो कोचिंग कल्चर डेवलप हो रहा है, इंटीग्रल दैट इज टाइप कल्चर डेवलप हो रहा है, तो उसको इफ यू वांट टू अवॉइड इट, आपको रेगुलर असेसमेंट. फॉर रेगुलर असेसमेंट मीन्स व्हाट? सिंपल टू डिफाइन एंड एक्सप्लेन. एवरी वीक, there are 4 weeks in a month. Every week you have to conduct assess the student by one way or other. There is no any specific mode given in the NEP. It is your choice, and it is your right rather. It depends on the number of students, and it depends on the circumstances to circumstances, that particular atmosphere. But अगर स्टूडेंट को मालूम हो गया कि अगर मैं उस लेक्चर को, उस तास को, उस पीरियड को एब्सेंट रहता हूं, तो मेरा परफॉर्मेंस डिक्लाइन होता है, तो डेफिनेटली ही विल यूज टू टर्न टू कॉलेज. हर हफ्ते उसका असेसमेंट करना है. एवरी फोर्टनाइट यू हैव टू इवेल्युएट हिज परफॉर्मेंस. अगर उसको अगर कंपल्शन इन उसको लग गया कि अरे if I remain absent, then it will the future consequences is very serious that I will fail, तो वो कॉलेज में आएगा. अभी क्या हो रहा है, only one exam at the end, so he used to attend the exam and get the result. And that is why regular formative assessment for learning rather than only submission part of, compliance part of, which is nowadays it is, and with the help of मैंने जो शुरू में बोल रहा हूँ, exactly contradictory word is used being, as far as my perception is concerned, I'm not against, I'm using technology. I am also using in my class e-board. मेरे क्लास में, हमारे कॉलेज में, we purchased 40 boards which are called as a latest board, which are used as a e-boards in our education, it is commerce education. But apart from extensive use of technology, the term which is being used in national education policy, that you have to have extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barriers. With the help of this AI and chat GPT, you may remove the language barriers. अभी ऐसा है ना कि मैं मराठी में भाषण लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ, आपको अंग्रेजी में समझेगा. मैं हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ, आपको आपके ओन लैंग्वेज में आएगा. तो ये हो रहा है. सो पॉइंट इज रिमूविंग लैंग्वेज बैरियर्स, इंक्रीजिंग एक्सेस फॉर दिव्यांग स्टूडेंट्स एंड द एजुकेशनल प्लानिंग एंड मैनेजमेंट. दिव्यांग का बहुत अच्छी तरह से जिक्र इस नेशनल एजुकेशन पे हो कि बहुत समय ऐसा हुआ कि हम दिव्यांग के स्टूडेंट्स को अच्छी तरह से फोकस ही नहीं कर रहे थे और उनको एक तरह से दूसरी नजर से देख रहे थे. तो एनईपी में ऐसा कहा गया है कि दिव्यांग स्टूडेंट का भी हक बनता है कि उनको अच्छी शिक्षा मिले. ये एक बात. और दूसरा, एक्सटेंसिव यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. आपको टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करनी होगी, लेकिन वो क्या हो रहा है, एक्सट्रीम यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी ऐसा भी हो रहा है. एक्सटेंसिव इज अलाउड, एक्सटेंसिव इज एक्सेप्टेबल, बट एक्सट्रीम यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, आई एम अगेंस्ट दैट एक्सट्रीम यूज ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी. एक्सटेंसिव इज ओके, अलाउड. पॉइंट इज, टेक्नोलॉजी के सिवाय आप अभी इसके आगे नहीं टिक सकते इन कंपटीशन. तो ऑब्वियस है, कोई भी आयु का प्राध्यापक हो, जैसे नाउ आई एम रनिंग 56, तो लेकिन मैं कोरोना के बाद सीख गया टेक्नोलॉजी. मैं कोरोना के बाद ऑनलाइन लेक्चर दे रहा हूँ, कोई भी मोड हो मैं दे रहा हूँ. आई एम सच. पॉइंट इज, टेक्नोलॉजी आपको इस्तेमाल करनी है, लेकिन without forgetting the first principle which I said, recognizing, identifying, fostering the unique capability of each student. टेक्नोलॉजी इस्तेमाल करते करते उसकी कैपेबिलिटीज आप जान रहे हो या नहीं, ये महत्व की बात है. अगर हो जान रहे हो तो ठीक है, नहीं रहे हो तो यू हैव टू rethink the use of technology with its extreme use of, which is maximum use of. Moderate use is allowed, moderate use is okay. Next is very important. I will conclude by 5 minutes because my time limit is over by 1. Respect for diversity and respect for the local context. I repeat, respect for diversity and respect for the local context in all curriculum. I repeat the term 100 times again, in all curriculum, pedagogy and policy. Always keeping in mind that education is a concurrent subject. Concurrent subject. Respect for diversity and respect for the local context. Local context, as I'm in Pune, I am teaching commerce subject to my students, those who are in Pune. My college is autonomous. So for example, सौभाग्यवश मेरा कॉलेज autonomous है, तो मैं मेरे कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर के स्टूडेंट को जो सिखाना चाहता हूँ, ऑन विच आई वांट टू फोकस, मैं पुणे की जो जरूरत है, पुणे की जो खासियत है, पुणे में आगे जाकर जो जॉब निर्माण होने वाले हैं, उसके आधार पर मैं अगर मेरा सिलेबस डेवलप करता हूं, तो जो students coming to Pune, coming to my class, coming to my college, taking my topic, taking my subject, taking my specialization, they will have 100% benefit in their future life. लोकल कंटेक्स्ट का अगर आपने विचार किया, लेकिन अभी क्या हो रहा है, अभी हम पढ़ा रहे हैं जर्मनी में क्या हो रहा है और हमें ट्रम्प क्या कर रहे हैं और ये क्या कर रहे हैं और वो क्या कर रहे हैं, हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हमारा लोकल रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है. मेरा, आई एम टीचिंग इन रूरल एरिया, आई एम टीचिंग इन मेट्रो, आई एम टीचिंग इन सिटी. उसका एटमॉस्फेयर देख के मैं सब सब्जेक्ट का नहीं जिक्र कर रहा, कुछ सब्जेक्ट के सिलेबस आपको इसके आधार पर करने हैं. तो क्या होगा, वो पुणे में पढ़ेगा, तो पुणे में डिग्री मिलने के बाद उसको ऐसे इसका उपयोग पुणे में जॉब मिलने में, इस एरिया में जॉब मिलने में होगा. मेरे फॉर एग्जांपल मेरे यहाँ इंडस्ट्री कौन सी है, ये इंडस्ट्री है. मैं इंडस्ट्री से कांटेक्ट करना है कि आपको कौन से एम्प्लॉय चाहिए, कैपेबिलिटीज क्या होनी चाहिए. तो उन्होंने बोला कि ये हमें ये कैपेबिलिटीज वाले स्टूडेंट चाहिए. सो हैव टू डिजाइन द सिलेबस अकॉर्डिंगली, अकॉर्डिंग टू द लोकल कंटेक्स्ट. तो डिग्री मिलने के बाद उस इंडस्ट्री में वो एब्सॉर्ब हो जाएंगे, दे विल गेट ए जॉब ओवर देयर. तो ये मतलब है रिस्पेक्ट फॉर द लोकल कंटेक्स्ट. नो डाउट रिस्पेक्ट फॉर द डाइवर्सिटी, आपको डाइवर्सिटी पढ़ाना तो सब है, विश्व में क्या चल रहा है वो चल रहा है, लेकिन मेरे बाजू में क्या चल रहा है ये हमें मालूम नहीं होता. आपके बाजू के लोग आपको पहचानते नहीं और आप फेसबुक लाइव से आपको दुनिया के लोग पहचानते हैं, ये होना ठीक नहीं है. पॉइंट इज extensive respect for diversity and respect for the local context in all curriculum. सिलेबस में यह होना चाहिए, पेडागोगी टीचिंग लर्निंग प्रोसेस में भी होना चाहिए. सो एंड द नेक्स्ट इज फुल इक्विटी एंड इंक्लूजन. Full equity, obvious, as I said, equitable distribution in that sense. Full equity and inclusion as the in all educational decisions to ensure that all students are able to thrive in the education system. समाज का कुछ भी वर्ग ऐसा नहीं, पिछड़ा वर्ग हम बोलते हैं ना, कुछ कोई भी वर्ग ऐसा नहीं छूटना चाहिए कि he will lose the opportunity. And that is why full equity and inclusion as our हमारे शिक्षा के निर्णय, एजुकेशनल डिसीजंस ऐसे होने चाहिए कि कोई भी वर्ग छूटना नहीं चाहिए. Then teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूं, मुझे आप पर अभिमान है कि आपने टीचिंग प्रोफेशन में आने का निर्णय लिया एंड यू आर कंप्लीटिंग दिस ओरिएंटेशन प्रोग्राम. आगे 15-20 years you will be in teaching profession. What is the term used in NEP? Teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. आपको एक महत्व का that is टीचर को महत्व का दायित्व दिया है. That is, teacher is the heart of the teaching learning process. Their recruitment, कंटिन्यूस प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट, या अभी जो हो रहा है ना, ये प्रोफेशनल डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है ओरिएंटेशन कोर्स के आधार पर, पॉजिटिव वर्किंग एनवायरनमेंट्स एंड सर्विस कंडीशन. तो टीचर को महत्व है. हाँ, प्रॉब्लम्स है. एज आई सेड, आई एम ऑल्सो मेंबर ऑफ टीचर्स एसोसिएशन. तो CHB टीचर, पार्ट टाइम टीचर, ग्रांटेबल टीचर, नॉन ग्रांट टीचर, प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी, पब्लिक यूनिवर्सिटी, स्टेट यूनिवर्सिटी, ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी, इंटरनेशनल यूनिवर्सिटी, working condition, timetable, working hours, 8 hours, 7 hours, entry time, exit time, number of issues are there, I am aware. But शिक्षक को, जैसा मैंने कहा कि विद्यार्थी, स्टूडेंट इज एट सेंटर ऑफ एजुकेशन सिस्टम, वैसा ही शिक्षक भी एक महत्व का अंग है, इज इंटीग्रल एंड अनअफोर्डेबल पार्ट ऑफ दिस एजुकेशन सिस्टम. तो आपने एक प्रोफेशन चुना है तो आपका स्वागत है, आपका अभिनंदन है. लाइट बट टाइट रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क टू इंश्योर इंटीग्रिटी, ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड रिसोर्स इफिशियंसी. अब ये रेगुलेटरी का है, ये रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस, एक्ट एंड स्टैट्यूट्स, एंड एज अ टीचर यू आल्सो नीड टू नो योर ओन एक्ट. मेरा मन करता था कि इस सत्र में मैं यूनिवर्सिटी एक्ट में भी बोलूं, लेकिन मेरा, फॉर एग्जांपल, आई एम इन महाराष्ट्र, सो महाराष्ट्र यूनिवर्सिटी एक्ट इज एप्लीकेबल. But there are number of people those who are from outside, so for them you don't have this Maharashtra University Act, obvious, but you have your own University Act, so your own state University Act. My advice, my suggestion, my request to you all, please read and go through with the act which is applicable to you as a higher education. As I am teaching in Pune, so Maharashtra Public University Act 2016 is applicable to me. So there are 148 sections are there in this Maharashtra Public University Act. ऐसा मैं नहीं बोलता कि you must be expert in all that 148 sections, but at least you have the idea and awareness about the number of sections which are for which you are associated to. So light but tight regulatory framework to ensure the integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency. This is next. The term which is being used, autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Nowadays, autonomy is given in higher education. Autonomy, academic autonomy. Immediate question raised by the teacher, obvious, financial autonomy. But at least academic autonomy is concerned for implementing NEP in its real sense. I repeat, for implementing NEP in its real sense, autonomy, for me, autonomy is required. Otherwise, it is very tough and difficult to implement in its real sense. Next, continuous review of progress as far as research is concerned. That is, if you are pursuing your research, then outstanding research as a requisite for outstanding education and development. That is why national, that is NRF, research, what is called as a 20, if I'm not wrong, 20,000 crores. Of course, it is not yet started. That is why it remains only in that is principle itself. That National Research Foundation, announced by the NEP policymakers for outstanding research. But what is being mentioned over there, continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Only one point I will make and I will conclude by 2 minutes. If you are doing research, most welcome. MPhil, PhD, research paper, whatever, Scopus, peer reviewed, number of, referred journal, whatever. आपका संशोधन, आपका research, two points contribute only. Whether it contributes to the development of the society and whether it contributes to the development of your own domain knowledge. Two underlying principle: contribution to the society at the end and contribution to the domain knowledge at the end. For example, I am pursuing PhD in commerce. For example, I did my PhD in quality circle. In 2002, I finished my PhD degree. Whether it contributes to the development of the society, समाज को क्या लाभ होने वाला है आपके संशोधन से, नंबर एक. और आपका जो बेसिक सब्जेक्ट है कॉमर्स, बेसिक डोमेन नॉलेज है, उसमें what you are going to, what you have contributed. So if you answer these two questions, then definitely every research will be useful to the society. और यही अपेक्षा नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी की है. Last two sentence I will make and I will conclude. By one I will conclude. Pakka. Education is a public service. I repeat, education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered. Access to quality education must be considered. Term must is user, not may. Access to quality education must be considered a basic right of every child. The term right and term must is used in this sentence. Education is a public service, means it is not a private service, it is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered a basic right of every child. And last one, substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system, as well as the encouragement and facilitation of true philanthropic, private and community participation. These two words are very important for me. Philanthropic, private and community participation. ये होने वाला है. हायर एजुकेशन का तो गवर्नमेंट ने बोला है कि वी विल, दैट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज ओनली फॉर प्राइमरी एजुकेशन 5334. For 3 year, 4 year, 5 years degree, it is obvious that government will not have that type of responsibility which otherwise they have during this primary education. And that is why philanthropic, private and community participation will आगे जाकर बढ़ने वाला है. It will increase. But apart from, it's a financial matter. मुझे एक के अंत में कहना है कि एज ए टीचर आपने अगर ऐसा मान लिया, इफ यू कन्विंस्ड विथ, देन इन योर क्लास आपके सिलेबस में है या नहीं है छोड़ दो, यूनिवर्सिटी ने बोला है या नहीं बोला है छोड़ दो. आपने अगर ऐसा ठान लिया, मान लिया, अंडरस्टूड एंड एग्रीड एंड कन्विंस्ड, देन जैसा मैंने शुरू में बोला, प्राइड इन इंडिया, and its rich, diverse, ancient and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. आप आपके विषय के आधार पर स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ा सकते हो। आगे जाकर आप ऐसा ध्यान में रखकर ये आप स्टूडेंट्स को पढ़ाए। ऐसी शुभकामना के साथ with this best wishes I conclude this session, and again शुरू में मैंने बोला था thanks for giving me an opportunity and thanks for good introduction. At the end also I am making the same comment. Thanks to organizer for giving me an opportunity to interact with the participant, those who have just started their career as a teaching profession. I welcome all these participants, और आगे जाकर एक आप अच्छा शिक्षक ऐसा कोई नहीं होता, शिक्षक होता है वो अच्छा रहने का प्रयास करता है। तो आइडियल टीचर रहने की कोशिश हर व्यक्ति को करनी चाहिए। आप भी ऐसा करेंगे, ऐसी शुभकामना के साथ मैं मेरे वाणी को विराम देता हूं। थैंक्स फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजर्स फॉर गिविंग मी एन अपॉर्चुनिटी। धन्यवाद मैडम।
Please wait, sir. Sir,
Okay.
there is a vote of thanks.
सर नमस्कार, मैं डॉक्टर गणेश शिंदे, ताराई आर्ट्स एंड साइंस कॉलेज पैठन, डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आम्बेडकर मराठवाड़ा विद्यापीठ। सर, आपने अभी एनपी के बारे में जो कुछ जानकारी हमें दी है, और वो जानकारी से हम सब लोग बहुत ही खुश हुए हैं। आपने जो बोला कि भारत में हमने जन्म लिया, तो ये भारत में जन्म लिया, हम तो भाग्यवान है, लेकिन हमको हमारी जो परंपरा है, हमारी परंपरा को हमें एनएपी के माध्यम से बच्चों तक लेके जाना है, स्टूडेंट तक लेके जाना है। और एनईपी का उद्देश्य जो है, वो उद्देश्य हम सफल करेंगे सर। हमारा सब्जेक्ट कोई भी हो, हम सब सब्जेक्ट की जानकारी रखेंगे, और सब सब्जेक्ट की जानकारी रखकर जो हमारी भाषा है, जो परंपरा है, जो हमारी संस्कृति है, वो हम बच्चों स्टूडेंट तक लेके जाएंगे। उनमें जो नैरेटिव है, उनमें जो नकारात्मकता है, वो एनईपी के माध्यम से हम दूर करेंगे, और समाज के अंत तक हमें एनईपी का जो उद्देश्य है, वो उद्देश्य लेके जाना है। और सर, हम रिसर्च तो करते ही है, और बच्चों तक भी रिसर्च का ज्ञान लेके जाएंगे। और आपने जो बोला कि स्टूडेंट अभी बहुत सारे कॉलेज में नहीं आते, बहुत एब्सेंट रहती है, तो मुझे आशा है कि एनईपी के माध्यम से जो फ्रेमवर्क, जो सिलेबस बना रहे हैं, उसके वजह से स्टूडेंट लोग कॉलेज में आएंगे। वैसे हमने अभी आई लाइक कोर्स उसमें लाए बहुत सारे, उसमें से बच्चों की जो कॉलेज में प्रेजेंटी है, वो अभी बढ़ रही है। सर, मैं हमारी सभी की तरफ से आपको ढेर सारे आपके आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ कि आपने अच्छी भाषा में और अनुशासन के साथ हमसे बातचीत की। थैंक यू सर।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, और मेरे मुंह से कुछ अगर गलत शब्द किया तो मैं माफी चाहता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
नहीं सर, हम
नहीं, अभी
अनुशासन जरूरी है सर। आपसे हमने अनुशासन सीखा है सर।
एक्सक्यूज मी सर।
हाँ, यस यस, बोलिए बोलिए, नमस्ते।
हाँ सर, जैसे कि हम लोगों ने एनईपी में बहुत अच्छी अच्छी चीजें इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करना स्टार्ट कर दिया है, तो वैसे क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि आईकेएस का जो पार्ट, जैसे हम लोगों ने ग्रेजुएशन में अभी इंक्लूड किया है, तो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन स्टूडेंट्स, तो पीजी के जो स्टूडेंट्स है, उनको भी कंपलसरी आईकेएस अगर होता है, क्योंकि दे आर ऑलरेडी एंटर्ड इन पीजी फर्स्ट ईयर और सेकेंड ईयर, सो दे शुड हैव सम कंसर्न रिगार्डिंग द आईकेएस, तो उनके सिलेबस में भी आईकेएस का पार्ट चाहिए एज पर देयर स्ट्रीम।
करेक्ट, होना चाहिए, लेकिन मैं
बारे
जो
में आपको क्या लगता है?
हाँ, नहीं, होना तो चाहिए, आप जो कह रहे हैं वो सही है, लेकिन वेदर इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ देयर सिलेबस और नॉट, व्हाट इज माय पॉइंट व्हिच आई सेड रिपीटेटिवली, चाहे वो आईकेएस नहीं है, लेकिन आप जब क्लासरूम में जाते हो, इन फ्रंट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स यू आर देयर, देन आपको किसने आपको रोका है कि आईकेएस के बारे में मत बोलो? आपके विषय के आधार पर पीजी आप पढ़ा रहे हैं ना, तो पीजी में आईकेएस की जो आवश्यकता है वो आपको पढ़ानी है। और जैसा मैंने बोला ना कि आउट ऑफ 132 क्रेडिट्स, 56 क्रेडिट्स फॉर मेजर, 52 credits and 24 credits. 24 credits is a complete choice of that concerned teacher. How to evaluate the performance of the student. तो आपको ये जो 24 क्रेडिट अवेलेबल है, तो उस 24 क्रेडिट में आप आईकेएस के आधार पर इवन इफ पीजी लेवल कई आप इवेल्युएट कर सकते हो। My point is, please do not have a complaint against university or BOS or principal or UGC or central government or state government. अगर आपको ऐसा बहाना बनाना है तो हो सकता है, मैं आपको ये नहीं कर रहा, because everyone should teach as per the syllabus itself, as per the curriculum itself. Otherwise हंगामा मच जाता है कि ये syllabus में नहीं था और एग्जाम में आ गया तो आउट ऑफ सिलेबस पढ़ाया। लेकिन 24 सेशन 24 क्रेडिट्स जो है वो प्योरली आपके है, आपके हाथ में है। देर इज नो एनी रिस्ट्रिक्शन फ्रॉम एनी अथॉरिटी अदरवाइज। दैट इज वाई आप IKS भी अगर PG में है या नहीं है आपको पढ़ाने हैं। और लॉजिकली क्या है, मैंने पूछा था ये सवाल कि ये PG में क्योंकि UG में है तो PG में वो नहीं दे रहा है। लेकिन उसका उनका ये है, क्या बोलते हैं, उसका मानना ये है कि आप मैच्योरिटी देख के, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स की मैच्योरिटी PG में ऐसे अपेक्षा है कि बढ़ती है, बढ़नी चाहिए, तो मैच्योरिटी देख के आप उनको अकॉर्डिंगली हैव टू मोल्ड द टीचिंग लर्निंग पेडागोगी, तो आप उसमें पढ़ा सकते हो ऐसा पॉलिसी मेकर। क्योंकि आई इंटरेक्टेड विथ पुणे में एक बार कस्तूरी रंगन जी और ये 9 मेंबर्स जो है नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी के, वसुधा कामत जी या MK श्रीधर ऑफ कर्नाटका, इज माय वेल फ्रेंड, तो वो सब आए थे। तो उनको मैंने ये पूछा भी था कुछ लोगों ने, तो उनका जो जवाब था वो मैं आपको आपके सामने मैंने रखा। धन्यवाद।
Hello, excuse me, sir. Hello.
प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज।
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, sir, kindly explain me. You said that, honesty should be in principle, or honesty should be the policy. Please kindly explain this, sir.
तो पॉलिसी एंड प्रिंसिपल, यह तो आपको दो शब्द आपने सुने होंगे।
Yes, sir. Yes.
हाँ, हम कई
Yes.
मैंने क्या कहा, मैंने कहा कि ऑनेस्टी ये हमारी पॉलिसी नहीं है, ऑनेस्टी दिखाने के लिए नहीं है। ऑनेस्टी इज ए इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ आवर लाइफ, ये हमारा तत्व है, ये हमारी फिलॉसफी है, ये किसी को दिखाने के लिए नहीं है। दिखाने
Very
के लिए
good.
जो होता है ना, ये दिखाने के लिए जो होता है वो आई एम ऑनेस्ट। सी, अभी मैं एक दूसरा उदाहरण आपको देता हूँ। 24/7 हम ऑनेस्ट होने चाहिए, लेकिन क्या हो रहा है, हम वेस्टर्न कल्चर से उनका डिसिप्लिन लेते हैं, उनका यूनिटी लेते हैं, उनका सब लेते हैं, नहीं लेते नहीं लेते। और उनका लाइफ जो है ना, वो 6 बजे के बाद, यू आर मैच्योर टू, 6 बजे के बाद का जो लाइफ है वो हम उनका आदर्श मानते हैं। शाम 6 बजे के बाद का जो लाइफ है उनका, दैट लाइफ इज डिफरेंट।
For example, sir.
For example, that is why what I said, you are matured enough to understood what I am saying. So
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
As a teacher, it is very serious. As
Yes,
a
sir,
teacher,
yes.
it is very serious, because those who are using other way around unethical practices. तो ये पॉलिसी दिखाने के लिए हो गई। पॉलिसी है मेरा, सॉरी, ऑनेस्टी इज माय प्रिंसिपल। आई एम नॉट ऑनेस्ट ओनली फॉर द सेक। कोई देख रहा है, इसीलिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ ना कि CCTV कैमरा हमारे हर एक के शरीर में है। हमारा मन जो है वो CCTV कैमरा है। चाहे आपको कोई CCTV कैमरा से देख रहा है या नहीं, छोड़ दो, आपका मन तो आपको देख रहा है ना। तो ये मन ही आपका CCTV कैमरा है। और जो मानता है कि जो मेरा मन CCTV कैमरा है, तो इट्स माय प्रिंसिपल। ये प्रिंसिपल हो गया, ये दिखाने के लिए नहीं है, ये मेरा। इसीलिए मैं बोलते हैं ना कि मैंने मन से किया, मेरे मन से बात, इसीलिए प्राइम मिनिस्टर मन की बात करते हैं ना। तो मन की बात यानी कि विच इज वेरी ऑनेस्टली सेड बाय अस, ऐसा है। ठीक है।
Yes, sir. Very nicely explained, sir. Very like it. Thank you so much.
शिंदे सर, तुम्ही आता गाडीमध्ये दिसताय।
माझी एक विद्यापीठात मीटिंग आहे, तिकडे निघालो सर।
वा वा वा, ठीक आहे।
विद्यापीठात एक मीटिंग आहे। मी ऍक्च्युअली सर इन्चार्ज प्रिन्सिपल म्हणून काम करतोय कॉलेजला।
अच्छा, गजानन सानप सरांना नमस्कार सांगा आमचा।
ओके सर, थँक्यू सर, सांगतो सर नक्की। आणि डॉक्टर सर्जेराव जिगे सर आहेत ना, माझे
Yes, yes.
PhD
जिगे
चे
सर
गाईड
हे-
होते सर।
जिगे सर हे मला चांगले मित्र आहेत माझे. येस
हो का? बरोबर सर, त्यांचा फॅमिली मेंबर आहे सर मी.
त्यांना सांगा नमस्ते. ओके, नाव इट इज
येस सर,
पर्सनल.
येस.
सो थँक्यू.
ओके सर, पुनश्च एकदा थँक्यू सर सर्वांचे,
थँक्यू
आणि
सर.
आपले पण आभार सर.
धन्यवाद.
येस.
थँक्यू सर, खूप छान माहिती सांगितली तू.
भेटूया. धन्यवाद.
नमस्ते.
मॅडम तुम्हाला पण आणि रफिक सरांना पण धन्यवाद.
थँक्यू सर. थँक्यू.
थँक्यू सर. आय विल लिव्ह नाव. चालेल ना?
हो सर.
तुम्हाला आता सूचना द्यायच्या असतील तर तुम्ही द्या.
येस सर.
मॅडम पुढचं सेशन आपलं 2:50 ला आहे ना?
हो, पुढचं सेशन 2:50 ला असेल.
आणि त्याला आहेत का आभार वगैरे करणारे आणि हे आपलं बायोडेटा वगैरे रीड करणारे?
आता बोलून घेते मी अर्धापुरे सरांशी.
हो, नसेल तर मला कळवा.
तुम्हाला मेसेज पाठवून देते.
ओके सर. ओके मॅडम. ओके, मला कळवा नसेल तर.
येस सर. येस.
ओके मॅडम, थँक्यू.
Ma'am, can we leave now from the